Hello, this is Amitabh Pandit, and in this video I will be talking about how you can remove stones from your kidney. Stone formation in the kidney is a widespread health issue in many people, and when a person gets diagnosed through an ultrasound scan that he has a stone in his kidney, it can be quite worrisome. The person can be experiencing certain symptoms like pain in his back, which is the region behind the kidneys. There could be pain while urinating. There could be droplets of blood or reddish sediments coming in the urine. And sometimes the situation can be so acute that it is impossible to urinate at all. I would like to mention here that in case you have an acute condition, then it would be a good idea to go to orthodox medicine, as they would be having the means to deal with such a condition. However, if you do not have any pain that is so extreme and that does not require medical interference immediately, then it would be ideal to go in for natural and simple means through which you can dissolve the stones. Dissolving kidney stones is a process that takes about 90 days to 180 days using the methods that I would just be describing. You would have to take care of your diet during the time that you are undergoing this process, and there are three things that you would need to avoid while you are attempting to do this. Number one, you should avoid all calcium supplements. Now, for this, to understand this, you require a deeper understanding of why the stone has got formed. None of us eat any mud, dirt or grime in our food. Then how is it that stones get formed in our kidneys? Well, in actuality, the stone that is being diagnosed in the scan is not a stone. It is a stone-like formation that is made up of a mixture of calcium, oxalates and urates that solidify and clump together to form stone-like density. So what really happens is that your heart is pumping the blood, and the blood goes through the kidneys to get filtered. The waste matter gets excreted out through the kidneys, through the urine. Now, through these filters, which are the kidneys, there are certain materials that do not get passed through, and those material, which are the oxalates and the calcium, they start clumping together, and the kidney, to protect itself, starts to solidify them so that the rest of the space in the filters is available for the blood to get filtered through. Now, the stones can be of various sizes. It could either be one of the kidneys that has a stone, or it could be that both the kidneys have a stone, and it could be that you have multiple stones in the kidneys. In any of these situations, the remedy that I'm describing is going to work quite well because natural means and through diet, chronic conditions can easily be treated, and they do not have any side effects or after effects. So, as I was saying, there are three things that you would need to avoid. Number one is the calcium supplements, and the very reason is, which I've just mentioned, that since calcium is one of the ingredients of the stone, so any type of calcium supplement that you might be taking would increase the problem rather than reducing it. Especially the calcium carbonate supplements that are available and that are usually prescribed to people, like Shell Cal and Gem Cal. One should avoid that during the time period that you are trying to dissolve the kidney stones. The second is you should avoid all dairy products. Yes, that's right. You must avoid milk products throughout the period that you're trying to dissolve your kidney stones, and that would include milk, cheese, curd, cream and ghee. And it would be ideal that you avoid them during the time period of 3 months to 6 months. That's 90 days to 180 days, because that's the time that it might take for you to reduce the size of the stone and completely dissolve it. The third thing that you must avoid is proteins from animals. That would include eggs and chicken and meat and fish. You can go ahead and take all kinds of proteins from the plant kingdom, and that is lentils and pulses and soy or any of these to balance out your protein intake during this time period. The reason for reducing and cutting out the animal proteins is that these proteins are quite dense, and the body has to work on them much harder than it has to work on plant foods. And the metabolic waste of animal protein has to be filtered through the kidneys, and that puts a larger burden on the kidneys. And you don't want to do that while you're trying to dissolve the kidney stones, even if your kidneys are absolutely fine and they can filter out the animal waste, animal protein waste matter, because what you're trying to do is you would rather assist the kidneys at that time rather than putting a larger burden on them. And of course, once the kidney stones have been dissolved, you can always resume your intake of animal protein in a balanced way. So, the three things that you must do to reduce and dissolve the kidney stones is: number one, take coconut water. Coconut water is natural food, and it is like ambrosia for the kidneys. It is rich in electrolytes. It is an antimicrobial food. It is preserved by nature, and it has no additives or preservatives at all. There is no scope of adulteration in it, and you need to take at least, I would say, 2 to 3 glasses of coconut water every day to reduce your kidney stones and dissolve them. The action of the coconut water is very specific on the kidneys, so these are really excellent in doing the job. Second is you should take a magnesium supplement. Now, I have a magnesium supplement here, which I'm going to show to you. You can take something like this. It's called Natural Calm. It is magnesium citrate, and it comes as a powder, and this is an effervescent powder. You can also take magnesium citrate capsules or that are available in the market, or you can take this magnesium supplement. You would need to take about 1 teaspoon of this mixed in 2 to 3 glasses of water and drink it over the whole entire day. Magnesium helps in dilating the vessels of the body. It helps in calming down the body, and also it would eliminate or take over excessive calcium. If in case the calcium is required by the body, the magnesium would bind with it and it would get absorbed in the body, in the bones and the tissue. And in case it is excess, it would get excreted out. So magnesium supplement would be an excellent thing to add on while you are trying to remove the kidney stones. Third, and this is the most critical part, and that would be to take at least 2 liters of a vegetable juice. That's right, vegetable juice made of cucumber and red bell pepper. Now, the red bell pepper is classified as a fruit, and it is not technically a vegetable because it is sweet and it has seeds in it, and it is quite delicious on its own. It has a sweetish taste, unlike the green capsicum. And you would be taking 1 large red bell pepper per liter of juice. So that would mean that you would take 2 large bell peppers for 2 liters, and the rest of it has to be made through cucumber. So when you have 2 bottles of this juice ready, you can take it either the juice as a meal itself and drink it over a period of 2 to 3 hours, or you can keep having the juice throughout the day in a staggered way. For example, you might have your breakfast around 9, and then from 11 onwards you start having this juice, and around 3 p.m. you can have your lunch, which can be a little light, and then post that around 5 to, let's say, around till 7, you can finish the 2nd liter of juice, and then you can have your dinner. Now, what will happen with this juice is, number one, cucumber is again very rich in electrolytes, and the red bell pepper is an extremely vital vegetable to improve the immunity of the body. So when it's mixed together, what it does is it starts flushing the system. So your body starts flushing out all toxins and waste matter. Your urine output is increased. And of course, you can do that with water as well. But one can only have a limited amount of water, and by that would also have to be forced. And whereas this juice has a different chemistry to it, and it would tend towards the kidney while nourishing the body. So it would not only pull out the toxins and the extra stone building material from the bloodstream, but it would also dissolve the stone from the kidney. So it works in both ways. And in case you are going in for a surgery because your physician has suggested it, or you're taking some diuretics, you would not need the diuretics. And again, in case you are doing a surgery, what you must understand is that doing a surgery and removing the stone is just removing the symptom. You have not removed the cause of the stone formation. And taking this juice is striking the cause at the root. You would remove the root itself so that further stone formation is not going to happen. And that's what this juice does. So the most important thing while you are trying to do this over the period of 3 months to 6 months is that you must take care that the color of your urine throughout this period is colorless. Your urine color should be just like water. The moment you feel that your urine is coming a little yellow, or even if it has a slightest tinge of yellowness to it, increase the water quantity or the juice that you're having, or drink coconut water. Throughout this period, as long as your color of the urine is like water itself, the stone is going to dissolve, and it is going to come out without any symptoms, without any pain, without causing an acute crisis. So those are the steps that you can take, and I would request you to share this video with your friends and your relatives, and you might know somebody who might benefit from this video, and you might be able to save that person from getting an unnecessary surgery done or from unnecessary side effects of medication. It is very important to protect the kidneys, as later in life people can by if you don't take care of the stones, then there can be other complications, like the filtration rate goes down, which is called EGFR, and you can end up with kidney disorder, which is CKD, chronic kidney disorder, and kidney failure, and then you have to go on to dialysis. So if you do these things while the situation is not so critical, you not only are able to take care of the stone, but you are also able to keep the kidneys tissue very, very healthy. And I would like to thank all my subscribers, and it keeps me motivated to keep posting more content. Do share a comment and your updates when you find this video useful and you are able to help yourself. Visit my website as well, and connect with me on my blog. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.